The Tapper's Golden Curse. In the village of Osuahenema, the dust is redder than blood, and the sun is a cruel master. But for Kofi, the sun was the least of his worries. Kofi was a palm wine tapper, a man whose hands were mapped with the scars of 1,000 climbing ropes. Every morning, before the rooster could even clear its throat, Kofi was already high in the trees, chasing a few drops of white sap to sell at the market. But the rains had failed. The palms were dry, and in his small hut, the sound of his 3 children crying was louder than the drums of a festival. His wife, Isi, would look at him with eyes that had lost their shine, her hands empty of fufu, her heart heavy with the silence of a kitchen without fire. One evening, as the harmattan wind blew the scent of dry grass and secrets through the village, Kofi sat by a dying fire. He heard the elders whispering about the Forbidden Grove, a place where the trees are always green, but the shadows have teeth. They said a man could find enough gold there to buy the whole kingdom, but the price was never spoken aloud. Kofi looked at his youngest daughter, her ribs showing through her skin like the keys of a xylophone. In that moment, the fear of the spirits died, and a darker hunger took its place. He grabbed his tapping knife and his gourd. He didn't tell Isi where he was going. He simply walked into the darkness, toward the trees that do not sway even when the wind blows. The moment Kofi's foot crossed the boundary into the Forbidden Grove, the world changed. The loud, familiar symphony of the African night, the screeching crickets, the hooting owls, instantly died. The silence here was heavy. It pressed against his eardrums like water. The air was cold, thick, and smelled of ancient mud and things that do not bleed. He walked for hours, guided only by a strange, pale light that seemed to pulse from the ground itself. The trees here were wrong. They were massive cottonwoods, but their bark was twisted like old, knotted veins, and their leaves hung still, even though a cold breeze brushed past Kofi's face. Finally, the trees parted to reveal a clearing that no map had ever shown. In the center sat a pond, its water black as obsidian. It was so still it looked like solid glass. It did not even reflect the moon hanging above it. Kofi's breath caught in his throat. He knew, with the instinct of a prey animal, that he was standing in a place where human rules did not apply. As he turned to run, the surface of the black pond rippled without wind. Slowly, agonizingly slowly, a figure rose from the center. It was not a man. It looked like it was molded from wet river clay and shadows, tall and faceless, save for 2 eyes that glowed like dull silver coins buried in the earth. Kofi fell to his knees, his tapping knife clattering uselessly on the stones. The entity did not speak with a mouth. Its voice echoed directly inside Kofi's skull, vibrating through his bones. It sounded like 2 grinding stones. "You smell of desperation, little tapper," the voice hummed. "You seek the heavy yellow stone to fill the bellies of your kin." A calabash floated from the spirit's hand toward Kofi. It was overflowing with gold dust and nugget, more wealth than the village chief had seen in 10 lifetimes. Kofi reached out, his hand trembling. "Take it," the spirit whispered, its silver eyes pulsing. "But know this, the forest gives nothing for free. I will fill your house with gold, but I crave the things that make a house alive. I will take the noise, the laughter, the weeping, the arguments, the songs. I will take the voices and leave you only the silence. Do we have a trade?" Kofi didn't walk home. He ran. The heavy calabash, now wrapped in his tattered cloth, felt like a warm, living heart beating against his chest. Every time a gold nugget clinked against another, he felt a rush of power he had never known. He burst through the door of his hut, his breath coming in ragged gasps, his eyes wild.
Kofi did not yet know what he had agreed to, but the grove never gives without taking.